It's time.
What the bloody hell is going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's the King of the Couch back in your ear holes for another week of the King of the Couch podcast, or another edition, I should say. Sitting here, it's 5:19 p.m. on a Sunday afternoon. I'm hitting you a day early or 6 days late. I don't know. Obviously, I didn't get on to do a podcast on Monday night. I've been a bit shitty in the last 6 months, I'll be honest. The weekly show's just going out the window. Now, I've got to give myself more credit because I've got 2 kids now, all right? There's a lot of sickness in my house, a lot of viruses getting around, a lot of really terrible viruses. It's one of those things, how's my hair, for fuck's sake? Anyway, this is Sunday. I'm having a Sunday session. I've got the house to myself. We're about 2 hours and 40 minutes shy of kickoffs from State of Origin, Game 2, Queensland. If you're watching it at home tomorrow, whatever, I'm wearing the fucking Queensland Maroons jersey, 2022 edition, baby. Looking that good. Look at the arms, just fucking jacked. I'm feeling it. Let me just crack a little tin. Or should I say a bottle? I'm sitting here with not a very patriotic beer tonight. South Australia's finest, Cooper's Pale Ale. But you know what? 4X... look, they're sponsoring the Maroons, but they're not sponsoring me, so I'll drink Coopers. But here's to the mighty Maroons tonight, and here's to me, and all you beautiful people for listening. Let's have a quick sip. Oh, like absolute mother's milk. But yeah, how you been? I've been well. I missed you guys this week. Apologies for not getting on the mic last week. I had all the best intentions to do that, but I didn't get on. My family had been sick. I had a mad flu. You can still hear my voice is a little bit cooked. I might need to speak to a voice specialist, given that I'm a pretty shit hot podcaster. I've got to take care of the fucking vocal cords. But yeah, Arabella was then sick after me, so we'll talk about that. And then Becky, she got sick as well. It sucks when Beck goes down, you know what I mean? Not in one way, but in the other way when she gets sick. When she goes down like that, we don't like that. So, yeah, we didn't like that at all. And when Beck gets sick, and the fact that we had a newborn baby in the house, extra crazy. But we'll talk about all that. I've got a shitload of notes here that I keep writing down. This show's going to be a huge matzo ball. I have no idea what I'm talking about. I've had one beer already. I'm feeling good. I'm so excited for the football to come on tonight. I cracked another one, and I just felt bad that I didn't get a show done this week. Time got away. But anyway, subscribe to the show, pay it forward, all that sort of stuff. I love it. I've been seeing some KATC merch getting around. Some of the jumpers, now it's winter. I'm getting a mad kick out of that too, seeing that. So if you take a little photo with a KATC jumper, tag me in it. Fucking let's repost it. Tag me in it. I love it. I'm excited. But my weekend. Well, now we've really got 2 weekends to catch up on, hey. And I might do another podcast this week, but we'll see how we go. I might even try and tee up a little guest episode this week. Got a couple in the pipeline, but just one of those things. I will say, parents of 2. Maybe I was egotistical the other week talking about sleep and stuff like that, but not that I've been losing a lot of sleep. In fact, I've been gaining a lot of sleep. I've been really making a conscious effort to go to bed, and we'll talk about my new routine, my new schedule, my new thing, my new me, new year, new me. 20th of July. It's June. It's just kicked in, but it is definitely tough. The fact that when the kids get sick, right, I definitely had to step up and sort of help out, and I had to take Tuesday off work. So Monday night was a bit of a shit fest, and it's just one of those things. Like when you don't, I intend to get on the mic at a certain time, and then when shit goes a little bit pear shaped. And look, I'm a human being too. I get tired. I've got other goals outside of the podcast. Not to crush your hopes and dreams for all the listeners out there, but it's just one of those things. We'll talk about it soon, but my weekend last week was pretty good. We had a movie night on Friday night. I'll run through last weekend quickly, and then we'll run through this weekend. Then we'll talk about all the other bullshit we've got to talk on tonight, because I've got the wizard, Jared Sukjai's coming around in about an hour to watch the footy, so I've got to open the door for him. So I'm a one-man band here, you know what I mean? Star of the show, director, producer, editor, opener of doors for my friends when they come around. So yeah, I'm doing it all. I'm like a single mother. I'm really washing and drying everything. So last weekend, movie night on Friday. What was the movie? I do not know. I can't tell you. But Saturday we were going to Brisbane, and that's when shit hit the fan. We had to change of plans. And it can be really shitty when you're trying to make plans, right? I'm a weirdo with making plans. I get real resentful when you make a plan and then it falls through. I don't like that. But what can you fucking do, right? So last week, we were meant to be going to Brisbane to a friend's daughter's first birthday, and I was really excited because I'd never met the daughter. I'm sure she wouldn't have a lot to say to me. She's one, you know what I mean? But I was excited to see my friends anyway. We wake up, Arabella's just looking a bit hot and bothered, a bit watery around the eyes, fever's sort of setting in. It's just like, oh, fuck. And that's when the parenting muscle has to really, really flex. You sort of get in that zone where you're like, I want to do this because I want to. I'm an adult and I can do whatever I want. You know what I mean? I can eat before dinner. I can spoil my own dinner. At 33 years of age, I'll spoil dinner. Like that's my God-given right as an adult. But yeah, you kind of have to be mindful when you've got kids in that regard. So we went up, we got some coffees, and then Arabella just goes, look, I want to go home. So I was like, all right, we'll go home, we'll let some Panadol kick in. And I think we made the right move. But, 2 hours after the Panadol kicks in, apologies if I'm doing this tonight because my voice is a little bit hoarse, but I wanted to speak to you guys. But I don't know what's in this baby Panadol. Like, the adult Panadol is pretty good, but whatever's in baby Panadol, man, kids just resilient, I know that, but you just fucking get this syringe full of the gel down the fucking mouth hole, and an hour later, they're right as rain. First, they're fevering out, and they're just like, I can't do anything. My eyes are watering so heavily, and they're not answering you. Next thing, an hour later, it's like, do you want to play tag? Do you want to play tag in the house? We can play hide and seek first, but then we want a hard and fast game of tag in the house. It's like, mate, we just cancelled plans because you were just fevering out, and now you want me to fucking run after you down the street? I mean, no thanks. You do it because you're a father, but that's a hard thing too. Hey, you're tired, even though you know you're not tired right now because you're feeling energetic because the Panadol's working like a fucking charm. Let's go and sit down. But anyway, so yeah, that was one of those things. And I probably mentioned on last year's show around November, we had to take her to the Gold Coast Hospital. So we ended up going back to hospital on the Saturday afternoon. So whilst I got into some manly chores, like it was one of those things, like shit hit the fan. I was like, all right, fuck, whatever. I should mow my lawn and do all those sort of things. So I borrow a mower off a guy. I'm one of those guys. I don't own my own mower yet. It's coming. It is coming. It's in the pipeline. But I don't own my own mower, right? So I go and borrow it off a friend. That's when I don't pay a bloke $50 a month to do it. I wanted to save the $50 this month, so I was being a bit tight. So I was like, I'll do my own, right? And my mate Timmy, shout out Timmy, he's a good egg. He's just one of those guys, he's bought a house and he's got just too much yard. There's too much maintenance. I'm saying it here, I'm calling it out. He knows it's too much. It's too much. And he had this hedge that's like, mate, if it was 40 foot high, it was the biggest hedge I'd ever seen. And he's like, oh, I've got to get rid of this fucking hedge. And I'm thinking, yeah, man, I'll help you. I'll help you. That's all the time I'll help you. I probably told him I'd help him about 10 times, never come to the party. I thought, I've got a free day here, shit has hit the fan, I want to borrow your mower. I said, man, if you're doing stuff in the yard, I'll help you. He's a homeowner with an unmaintainable yard. I know he's doing stuff in the yard. He's like, yeah, I'm actually out here doing that hedge. I'm like, fuck. All right, I'll come around, I'll help you with this stinking hedge. Man, and I felt like a man, I will say, I felt like a very lethargic, tired man for an hour. Like, I don't know how. Shout out to the people that do that shit for a living, hey, because it was fucked. It was so hard. Like, I was just out there. He'd done one of it, and he's got this thing called AS. It's like ankylosing spondylitis, right? Say that 10 times fast, but it's a back thing, and his bones are fusing together, and he's there like going mental, right? His neck doesn't even work anymore, and I'm like, shit, I've got to fucking pony up here, you know what I mean? This guy's got a proper immune fucking disorder, and I'm just here just being a wimp. So I'm like, yeah, get into it. I'm fucking hedge trimming, I'm doing this, I'm cutting through branches, and it was just hard. Like, we went for like a solid hour and a half until the battery ran out. Shout out to the battery operated Ryobis, hey, because it was going fucking hammer and tongs for an hour. And then when it ran out, I was just like, oh no, man, like, what are the odds? Could you believe it? This sucks. This really sucks, that we've got to pack up and have a beer now and get on the rest of our Saturday. I'm really upset. So we did that, but it was a lot. We filled one green bin, and I'm looking at this like load of shit just going, man, this is going to take you like 10 weeks to just let nature just die down in front of you, cut it up, and then you can fucking, get it in the fucking bin, right? Horrible, horrible situation. But anyway, we had a beer and stuff like that, and then I've got the text from Beck like, hey, Arabella's gone a bit downhill again. Maybe we should go to the hospital because there's no GPs available on the Sunshine Coast. We call 13 Health. That's a thing, hey, there's real like skill shortages at the moment, you know what I mean? This is not like a political rant, but there definitely is, because if you can't get in to see a doctor for like 7 to 14 days, like there's something going on, right? I know we've had a pandemic and stuff like that, but I don't think it's just that. I think people are just, their immune systems are fucking whack now, and that's why we're all getting these disgusting, shitty viruses day in, day out. It's disgusting. Anyway, so we go to the hospital. That you never like going to the hospital. Hospital on a Saturday afternoon, I will say, is just mental, right? It's just mental. The amount of sporting jerseys like the one I'm wearing, well, not the exact one, but different ones, were coming in. Broken arms, broken hands, broken ankles, dislocated shoulders. It was just fucking disgusting. I'm looking around. Everyone's got their fingers like this, just fucking wrapped up. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of severed fingers happening. Ran into a young boy in the toy room. I was there with my daughter. I wasn't there playing myself, but sounded weird. But I definitely wasn't in the toy room playing with myself. I was in there with my daughter. I'm not making this situation sound any better than I need to. Anyway, I was in a toy room. There was a kid there. His name was Joseph. He was 9. And he had this weird sort of silvery thing on his hand. And naturally comes up to me because, like, I'm probably like a father figure to the kid at this point. So he comes up to me and he's like, hey, yeah, these toys are pretty boring, aren't they? I was like, yeah, you're telling me, man. I'm 33 and it's Saturday afternoon. This is the farthest thing I want to be doing on my Saturday afternoon. But anyway, what's going on with your hand, brother? And he's like, oh, I got a fish hook in my hand. And I was like, oh, really? I was like, how the hell did you get a fish hook in your hand? Fishing accident? He's like, nah, not really. We were down at the park, me and some mates, and I picked up a fish hook, and then my mate, let's just call him Billy, he pulled the string, thought it was funny, and the next thing, the fucking thing's gone up me finger, so I'm stuck with his fish hook in my finger. I was like, whoa. I was like, that's disgusting. I was like, you had a tetanus shot yet? And he's like, not yet. And I was like, you'll enjoy that. And he's like, how long you been here for? He's like, 2 hours. I was like, 2 hours with that fish hook? I was like, can't be giving you that much grief. But anyway, it was definitely giving him some grief. He looked a bit light on his feet. He had a bit of Panadol. Maybe the adult stuff, baby stuff, mixed it, made a little concoction. Yeah, it was a real scene in there. Hey, just people just coughing and spluttering and just holding on to limbs and stuff like that. But yeah, crazy. But the craziest thing happened to me in there. It was like a real sort of maybe universal moment to say, hey, don't eat shit food. But Arabella naturally saw the vending machine, right? And she goes, oh, I want a bag of chips. And I'm like, well, we bought some chips and dips and fucking all the bullshit because you know you're going to be there for a while. No, I don't want any of the stuff that you've packed me, dad or mum in this case. I want that chip in there, that pink bag of salt and vinegar chips. I'm like, you've never even had salt and vinegar chips. You just want it because it's pink. And I'm trying to tell her that, hey, look, it's salt and vinegar chips. Like, this is a pretty fierce chip, right? You're in here, you eat a whole bag of that, you've got ulcers. Like, that's the kind of chip you're dealing with here. She doesn't understand. She's 3 and she's got a fever. And not at this point because the baby Panadol was working wonders. But I'm in there, right? Right. My mum gives me $3.20 because I didn't have any change, and I didn't want to use my card. I could have used my card, but I'm glad I did in the end. So we go there after she's badgering me for these chips, and I know she probably won't even eat. I will eat them, and I don't need to eat them because I need to fucking get tight. You know what I mean? I'm a best man at a wedding, like 2 months, 3 months, so I got to fucking tighten up. So we go there, $3.20. Let her do the buttons. They never do them right. You know what I mean? They never get the buttons right, but you got to be there and like motivational and stuff. Yeah, you're doing the buttons, and I'm thinking, fuck, don't hit that and get the accidental ones with the crackers and the tuners. You know what I mean? You want that bag of chips because when you don't eat it, I'm gonna scoff it. She couldn't do it. I do the thing. Next thing, the thing is swirling and the chips aren't coming. They got caught in the top. So this bag of chip is literally just like going up and up and up and not down and down and down where it should be going. And I was like, you motherfucker. So the $3.20 went down the drain. Salt and vinegar chips stayed in the vending machine. I've gone across the reception. Hey, do you guys this is random, but do you guys have like a key for that vending machine? They're like, no, we don't. That's like Coca-Cola. You're going to have to talk to them about that. I'm like, fuck. Call a 1300 number. Naturally, no one is answering at the Coca-Cola head office on a fucking Saturday afternoon. I called them like an idiot. Waited on hold for like 2.5 minutes. I was like, fuck this. I was like, maybe this is the universe doing it. And it's like, at that point I'm going, I could spend another $3.20, get 2 bags of chips. And I'm thinking, but then what if it eats that? I don't have another $3.20. At this point, I'm at like, how's my math? $9.60 for 3 bags of chips? That's just crazy, you know what I mean? As a person that looks for like junk food specials, I don't want to pay overprice for 3. I don't want 3 bags. I just wanted 1. Arabella wanted 1. I didn't even want it. I'll eat it. But anyway, we're sitting in there. I'm eating the other stuff we brought. Sitting. This young couple come in just to see their friends, you know what I mean? Just to see their friend who was having an issue of some sort. Don't know what. She was hobbling. They go across. They get some cans of V and stuff like that. Because the young kids, they love cans of V, these 19-year-olds. I don't know why. I probably did it once upon a time. Now it's just like, it'll make me have an anxiety attack. They go over to the machine. I look across at this young girl. Her eyes stunned. They open. Her mouth drops with the big O face. The boyfriend walks back, fucking cool as a cucumber, just thinking he's king of the world, you know what I mean? Legit. I've got 2 bags of salt and vinegar chips here, babe. You wouldn't believe it. I'm putting the words in his mouth here, but like they were going home to have sex tonight because of that win. So I was happy for him that I could have gifted him a bag of chips, but I was equally as sad that those were my bag of chips. But I had to be honest, I really had to look within myself, because there was a moment there where I really wished that like I could just have, gone over there and gone, hey mate, look, I don't want to be that guy, but 10, 15 minutes ago, those chips, they were mine, and now they're yours. Can I have them back, please? I wasn't going to do that. So I had to really go within and just be like, listen, the universe is telling you to put the salt and vinegar chips down, you fat bastard. Do yourself a favor. Give your heart a rest for the afternoon, and just let these young people have it. They haven't had enough caffeine and guarana from their V. They want to really douse it up with the salt and vinegar. Anyway, let them have it. That's what it was. 2.5 hours later, we finally get into a fucking bed, and 5 hours later, we're out of the hospital. Turns out it was just this horrible virus. No UTI infection, what I thought it was in all my years of medicine. Didn't actually turn out to be that. Just a horrible, horrible virus. And that's one of those things too. You wait there for 5 hours. This is what you have to do as a parent, right? You have to go to rule out what could be something else. And it's just a virus. That's all it was. Nothing else. But, the doctors were good. They were good. And I was like, are you going to do like an influenza test? They're like, nah, listen, man, like there's like, I'm talking street here. He was talking corporate, but I'm talking street for the podcast. But he's like, listen, man, there's no more influenza testing. There's too much influenza testing going on. The lab can't handle it. And they've asked us to stop testing. So it's like, okay, cool, right. That's crazy too, because in the whole COVID thing, that's all they wanted to do was test. And I said to him, I was like, man, surely you've got a lot of testers left over, because like COVID's slowing down as far as I know. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. We don't really hear about it anymore. It's like, it was almost like a flash in the pan, a 2-year flash in the pan. Now no one gives a fuck about it. And there's all these other viruses just are really like fucking flatlining people. And and that's it. No one wants to test for it. We don't care. It's just a virus. And it's one of those things that, everyone's getting around with it. Like everyone's got the virus, right? Of some sort, And it's like, oh, everyone's got it, man. It's getting around. Worst we've ever seen. It's like, how do they know that? It's like, how do they know it's getting around? Everyone knows that. Like, I hear one person say that, and I'm that kind of guy. I'll Chinese whisper it for sure. Man, it's getting around. Probably one of the worst viruses you ever have. Influenza, type A. You start saying stuff like that. It's not the flu anymore. It's like influenza type A. Anyway, that was a scene. But man, this has been a really long story to start the show. And that was Saturday. I'm going to speed it up. That was Saturday. We got home, had some beer and wine to celebrate that it wasn't a UTI. It was just a virus. Sunday was like some really masculinity dad day. I mowed the lawns, I washed 2 cars, and I watched some football. Arabella was still a bit sick, so she fell asleep with me for like an hour. But I will say, shout out Cold Chisel, because I was sitting there and I'm like, why would anyone do this shit? Mowing the lawns, washing their cars and stuff like that. And you got to do it because you got to be like house proud and proud of your things and stuff like that. If you're struggling, you're looking for motivation when you're doing manly chores around the house, just put on a Cold Chisel playlist. I literally put on Cold Chisel, and infinitely, I've never washed a car that well in my life. It was the cleanest car on the block. And then I was so G'd up, because I was only halfway through the playlist, that I said, Mum, she was up, naturally. I said, Mum, I'm going to wash your car. Let's do it. You know what I mean? So went and washed her car as well. It was good. It was really, really good. But that was last weekend. Fast forward to this weekend. I had some family up. It was good. We did some fairs. There was a fair up the road. We went and did that one. Bella got her face painted. Pardon me. Had some wine on Friday night. There was another fair today, another fundraiser. We've got the Origin tonight. The kids and Mum, they're in Brisbane. We're having a good time. Honestly, there's not much more to talk about on this weekend. So we're going to get on with all the other random stuff we've got to talk about tonight. But the other reason I didn't do the podcast last week was I've set myself a new schedule, right? I'm going to have a drink here because why not? It's my podcast. If none of you listen, then I'm going to have a drink. If 100 million people listen, I'm going to have a drink. It's what I do. It's what you come here for. It just hits different. It just hits different. That's really gone down the wrong hole. Oh my God. Oh my God. All right. Let's get back. Aussie Rock and manual labour. We talked about that. I note that down. Woo! But I've got a new schedule, right? I've got a new schedule. I said on my last podcast, I hit a bit of a wall. and I'm talking to someone now, and I'm feeling really good about that. I'll tell you about another thing that I'm doing. Every Monday morning, I'm starting my day with a thing called, pardon me, Monday Mentor Session, and it's been really good. I've really enjoyed it. We did one on the Friday, but then a 1, 2, 3. This will be my third Monday, I believe. Last week was Solution Mindset, and it's really nice. Like, people might go, this is a bit fucking woo-woo, man. I'm like, you know what? It is a bit fucking woo-woo, but it fucking works, and I like it, so shut up. So we get on, we do the nasal breathing. Rex will talk about, like, just really positive, optimistic stuff. Not all fucking fluffy. There's some hardness in there. I like that. I don't want total fluff, you know what I mean? I want, like, a bit of hardness, you know what I mean? I don't want all nurture. I want some nature. So it was Solution Mindset on Monday, and then we go into the Wim Hof breathing, which I've really been enjoying, pardon me, the Wim Hof breathing. I've done it twice this week, once on Thursday morning and once on Friday morning. I went swimming on Wednesday morning, but I'm ranting and raving here, but this is the podcast tonight. My dog's just walked into the room. He's here. He never leaves me. He's coughing. He's spluttering. This fucking dog. Trying to do a podcast here, my friend. Trying to do a podcast. Anyway, but yeah, I've got a new schedule because I said to Beck, after hitting that wall and trying to help myself out, I said, look, I need to go yes man on this, right? I need to try different things. What are things that I'm struggling with? I'm struggling with going to bed at a certain time. I'm struggling with getting up at a decent hour before work, I need some time back to myself. I need to focus on different things. I'm not lifting any weights, not moving my body enough, no cardio, not eating healthy enough, drinking too much coffee. So we're doing a lot of that sort of stuff, So Beck was like, right, I'll write you a schedule. We pretty much finished it. I'm trying to just finesse it now. I've done the first week just of what's important, what's not. And I think that's important to do that, right? Like you can literally write a list of 50 things. I got to achieve all this, but it's like how real is that? How really real are you going to get that? And out of those 50 things, what's like really important? Like what are like the top 10? Because as a father of two, and trying to fucking have a nice romantic relationship, trying to not suck at my job, and everything in between, trying to get a good body, trying to not fucking have a heart attack before I'm fucking 60. You know what I mean? All these different things. Trying to listen to the stillness and stuff like that. It can be challenging, right? So you really got to hone in what it was. So last week I said to Beck, I just really want to focus on going to bed by 10:30 every night, and I want to be out the door by 6:30. That's what Beck said, 6:30, right? And I think, 6:30 sounds early because, mind you, I wasn't probably getting up to like 7:38, right? So I've just blitzed it. Going, fuck this. I've set the alarm for 6 on Monday, and I was out the gate before 6, right? And I've gone, you know what? Fuck, this was good. I enjoyed it so much. So I said, then I moved the goalpost to 5:40 a.m. I will say pretty much every night I went to bed at 10:30. A couple was like 11. I will say I went to bed at 11. I've been doing stretching and either listening to some music or podcast or something before bed, just while I'm doing this sort of stretching and breathing, which is great. I would recommend that to anybody that's just like got a manic lifestyle and wants to like relax before they go to bed. I used to just like, you'd get so much like filth in your ears, from like Netflix or whatever the fuck it is. You're so worked up and then you just go and jump straight into bed. And then the other thing was that I used to just like take the AirPods to bed, so you just got like a shit ton of EMF just going down the ear holes. That's another thing, EMF stress. Look into it. I'll talk about that on another podcast. I don't know enough about it right now to talk about it, but it's something that's sort of, it's come up. So I'll talk about that on a future podcast. But EMF stress, check that out if you use AirPods a lot. Plus phones and laptops and all the other shit, routers, microwaves, I don't know. I'm becoming one of those guys, I'm a new age guy, I believe. So yeah, the schedule did me well. And the mornings, I gotta say, it's crazy to me how you can just go one morning, I'm not a morning guy. Then you do a couple of mornings, and now I go, I'm a fucking morning guy. Like, I like the mornings. I'm really intrigued by that, you know what I mean? So don't get so set in your ways, people, because you could surprise yourself, and I've definitely surprised myself here. But yeah, literally Monday, Tuesday, did a running course around where I live, you know what I mean? And I got a podcast in. I listened to this Paul Check podcast. I shared on my Instagram. Go and check it out. It was a really good one. It was a 3-hour podcast. So I did, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, got the podcast in. And I never get to do that, So I come home, we're doing the breathing, we're doing stretching, we're just lifting kettlebells, doing free weights, just basic sort of stuff, just moving the body, you know what I mean? Wednesday morning, down at Moffat Beach, run from Moffs to Shelley, sort of run, walk. I'm not going to lie to you, because I want to listen to a podcast and I get a bit sidetracked. Milky flicked me an audio book. Dr. John DeMartini, Ultimate Wealth Mastery. It's 16 hours long. I'm about 3 hours into it now. Again, I like it, you know what I mean? And this is where I feel like I understand why successful people get up really early, because one, it's quiet, you've got your time to yourself, and it's a good chance to really soak up this shit if you're looking for it, right? So my biggest thing in the mornings has been move my body, like cardio, running, walking, whatever. Listen to something positive, like whether that be a podcast, something I'm going to learn something from. I haven't really been listening to music, and I love music, but it's just all about sort of educating myself with something in that hour. You know, it could be anything. Come back. I've been doing heaps of stretching, moving because my back's a bit fucked, and then just trying to really focus on my breathing. You know what I mean? Like 5 seconds in, 5 seconds out, then doing the Wim Hof breath. That's what I'm doing. Do that 30 times, then hold the breath, and just stillness, just calmness. It's really good. My dog Frank is just looking at me like, what are you doing, cunt? It's just been really good. I've really enjoyed myself this week. I hit a bit of a wall on Wednesday. Just so dizzy. I just felt crazy. I just felt weird. You know what I mean? Wednesday afternoon didn't feel good. I was like, you know what? I'm kicking caffeine. I'm off the caffeine. I like coffees, don't get me wrong, but too much of anything is going to fuck you up, I think, in my mind, right? We all need addictions and stuff like that, and it's important to pick your good addiction before a bad addiction gets a hold of you. But like anything, you know, you could be going to the gym, which is like a really fucking healthy, productive thing. You're training, you're overtraining, and then bang, you bust up something, you know what I mean? My friend Milky had this. He loves calisthenics, fucked his wrist, tried to work out for months and months and months on this fucked wrist. You know, he was still getting buffer and stuff like that, but his wrist was getting worse. Then he eventually had to have surgery, and then he sort of hit a wall. It was like, great, I'm a bit depressed here because I can't train like I used to. Then he sort of had to look inwards and then look outwards again and find his new style of training, which is good. And I think he's come out better on the other side. He's looking sharp, he's looking slick, and he's feeling better for it. So it's just one of those things, you know, you can sort of do something good and it's still going to catch up with you. So, you know, I was really just, yeah, I don't know. I lost my train of thought there, but what I was trying to say is those morning sessions, like really just trying to focus on my stillness, focus on myself, really get in the zone. That's right. Caffeine. Wednesday. I fucked up. Sorry, guys. Manic here on a fucking Sunday Origin Eve, 5:45 p.m. But yeah, the caffeine, I said to Beck, I was like, oh God, I just feel like, I was like, I think I'm having a heart attack. On Wednesday, I thought I was having a heart attack. I really did. I'm looking, and that's the worst thing too. You go to Dr. Google and you're like, oh, it's a heart attack. You know what I mean? Like my hands have been a bit like clammy lately, or your heart's been racing. Not that, you know, like that, but the feeling that my arms are a bit weak, I'm a bit jittery, stuff like that. Just a weird sort of thing, you know. Anyway, I said to Beck, I was like, I'm done with caffeine for now. Like coffee serves its purpose, but it's not serving me right now. So after my thing on Thursday morning, I'm off. Went to Coles, bought myself some organic decaf. That's another thing too. I was really proud of myself, right? I'm sort of subconsciously been wanting to eat more like organic and sort of free range, but you know, really that sort of food, you know, I'm trying to angle that way, and it is a lot more expensive. But I went in, right, and there was like 2 things of instant decaf that I found. I couldn't get the pods that I wanted to get because they didn't have any for my machine, so that's why I got the instant. And they had the Coles decaf, and it was $4. And then they had this other organic decaf, and it was $11, right? And I'm like not a baller shot caller just yet. Bit of a shot caller, not a total baller. Cash we're talking about here. I'm looking. I'm in there for like 20 fucking minutes just comparing the things. And I'm looking at the ingredients. It was just like coffee. I was like, all right, that's helpful. But I'm looking here. I thought, you know what? I've been talking a while about eating organic food, so I'm going to put my money where my mouth is, put the Coles shit back, or the organic decaf. I like it. Been really liking it, you know? I've been having like 2 or 3 a day of the decaf coffees. And the good thing about having that much decaf coffee is you're never getting any caffeine in it. So there's never any risk of, you know, having the fucking jitters from coffee and stuff like that. So... and another thing I found already, like I did probably the first day, I have been having oat milk. Another thing that I've been looking into is like seed oils and how like all those, you know, when you look at like ingredients, right? So when you look at milk and people go, dairy, and I used to be one of those guys, I still am one of those guys in a way, but people go, dairy, makes me fucking have IBS and I'm going to shit my pants at the sight of a milk bottle. Oh, coffee, oh my God, geez, butt explosion. And I used to be like that, right? And then I started drinking with oat milk, right? So when you look at the ingredients of milk, it's like milk, maybe something else, but milk. And then you look at like oat milk, and I'm like, this is great. I like the taste of oat milk. But then I look at the ingredients, and there's like 20 different things. And when there's like some letters and numbers in there, and it's like this emulsifier, and then it's veggie oil and seed oil and blah, 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 I'm like, this oat milk, I guess it serves a purpose, you know what I mean? And it's really animal friendly and stuff like that. But I'm like, isn't that good for me? So on, must have been Friday morning, whatever it was, I've stopped. I haven't had oat milk. So I haven't had caffeine. This is like, what? Wednesday, no, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. This is day 4, no caffeine. And I haven't had any oat milk, right? I've just been having honestly a dash of full cream milk, just like dairy. And another thing I've been doing, I've got this sort of honey, this nice honey from the Bee Man, he's called, up here in the Sunshine Coast. I think it's pretty organic, raw, whatever. Just a good dousing of honey in there. Sort of takes the edge off that bitterness of the instant coffee. Man, I'm really liking it. Really, really liking it. And I'm feeling better for it. I'll be honest, I'm feeling better for it. I'm going to give myself a pat on the back here. I'm going to have a drink, and then I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do, and then I'm going to celebrate again with having another drink. Because I was really proud of myself this week. I really was, for sticking to my goals of going to bed, getting up, and just trying new things. There's no point sitting on the fucking, fence of life and going, yeah, I could do that, want to do that, I should do that. It's really not that hard to change one milk to another milk. If you think coffee's going to fuck you up. Now, and this is the beautiful thing, right? Decaf, some people go, it's kind of lame. Why would you drink it? It's well, it's the same reason I drink non-alcoholic beer. I like the taste of beer, but the aftershock of alcohol is what fucks me up. Non-alcoholic beer doesn't do that, right? I know I'm having a beer here tonight, and that's probably hypocritical, but I've been really good on the beer. I'm sort of tapering back on alcohol. I only had a handful of drinks so far this weekend. We had some family up, so that's why. But yeah, I've just been trying to be really kind to myself in that way. But I was really proud of myself, and I could see Beck was totally stoked with me. And I tell you what, another thing was, I'm going to get a little bit fucking MA 15 plus, maybe R 18 plus here with you. But my romance muscle it's really fucking going off. I have been really liking it. And I notice that too when I get healthy, right? And other people, I would love to know if other people have this too. Whenever I drink a lot, and you can still get horny under the piss and stuff like that, but whenever I drink a lot and eat a lot of junk food and stuff like that, I don't feel romantic. Honestly, and Beckle, if she I'm going to get on here for probably episode 150 again, right? She'll attest to this, but mate, I go a few days good food and no alcohol and just really looking after myself. Man, I'm feeling super romantic. I'm super, super just champing at the bit, you know what I mean? And I'm just I'm loving Beck sick at the moment. I just can't get enough of her. I'm feeling romantic. I'm feeling love. I'm feeling good. I'm really trying to take time to myself, and then by doing that, I can fucking love my family even more. So it's been good, you know what I mean? I had another session on Wednesday lunchtime with my coach, my life coach Rex, mentor, neurologist, whatever you call him. I don't know. I said to him on the call, I was like, what do you call yourself? He's like, man, whatever you want to call me, you can call me. But he's just there as a mate, really. You're paying for his services, of course. But, man, just feeling really good about it. Feeling really good, folks. So I just wanted to let you know that, because I actually had quite a few messages after that podcast the other week where I sort of told you that I was hitting a wall and went and speaking to someone, and quite a few guys were like, man, really appreciate you speaking up, you know what I mean? It's, let's put my fucking chair up here. Really appreciate you speaking up, because yeah, I'm feeling the same way, and I've had a hard time too, or I don't know who to speak to, and I like, as egotistical as this sounds, I like being in the position I am. I don't have a massive audience or listener base or whatever, but I have enough to know that I can sort of help people, right? By being super vulnerable, being super honest. That's as fucking cheesy as it sounds, that could be my superpower, right? So I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing, until I'm not doing what I'm doing on the mic, whatever, I don't know. But that's what I'm doing right now. I'm feeling super motivated, feeling super fucking with it, and I'm just gonna keep fucking going, you know what I mean? So you guarantee I'm getting a few of these Beerios in tonight, but I'll be hitting that fucking pavement at 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. You know what I mean? Hold me to that. Find someone to fucking, keep you accountable. Anyway, we've got a few things here to talk about, some random things. We'll probably chin wag for another half an hour or so, and then we'll fucking we'll kick on. But I wrote some stuff down. I had some funny stuff. Anyone been on YouTube lately? I don't know why I'm getting this, but has anyone been on YouTube lately and they're seeing a lot of Korean ads, tourism Korea? They're really pumping Korea on my YouTube channel. I don't know why. I've never really been looking at much to do with Korea. This is not a knock on Korea at all. And I know there's two Koreas. There's the goodie and there's the baddie, right? The South and the North. And I'm watching these ads, and they're not telling me if it's South or North Korea. And I feel like these people are just getting duped. They're getting sucked in. They're going to fly across to North Korea, and they're going to get a shock of their lifetime. But yeah, really crazy. I don't know why I'm getting all these Korean YouTube ads, and I don't know why I felt compelled to share it with you. I really wanted to share it with you. It just seemed important. Anyway, another thing I saw here. There's a couple of things that have caught my eye this week, and they're like those sort of things that in this sort of day and age that make your skin crawl a bit. I will say the things that have made me sick over the weekend are America, and not just the people, because I know I don't want to individualize the people. When you say America, that's whole. That's like saying, oh, all Australians are fucking bogans. Well, I don't think I'm a bogan. I could be wrong. So that's like generalizing. So I hate when it's like, oh, America, you're backwards. And I have said that too. I don't think America is, not everyone in America is backwards. Let's just put that out there right now. But the abortion stuff, America, the Supreme Court, what the fuck is doing? You know what I mean? Like, you guys are fucking backwards. It's crazy. It really does. So we'll talk about that on another podcast at length, I think, because I was really shocked over the weekend. I didn't think that was going to happen. I know a few women that I spoke to the weekend voiced their opinions. A lot of people I follow on Instagram, stuff like that, voicing their opinions. And reading these fucking comments, man, on Instagram and stuff like that. And there's just these fucking religious dickheads that are just like, yeah, this Psalm 23, 24, and blah, 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 God's word and stuff like that. And I'm like, God, take that Bible and stick it up your fucking arse, hey, because it's bullshit. You can't look at something. And I don't even know if it says that in the Bible. Do you know what I mean? I've never read that, and I'm not planning on reading it. So if someone has read it and they can tell me that, then let me know. But I don't know if the Bible is like strictly anti-abortion or whatever. But man, America, I feel bad for the people there that like need to be in that position where they need to get an abortion. I feel bad for the people that have been like abused and raped and this and that and need to get an abortion. It's going to fucking drive up like all the unsafe abortions. It's people that can't afford it, because rich as fuck people are just going to get on a private jet and fuck off somewhere to get a proper abortion if they need one. Let's be honest. Everyone's getting them. If they need them, they're getting them. You know what I mean? It's not taboo anymore. Like, get real, people. It's just the modern era that we live in. I'm sure that fucking everyone's been in a situation where they've had to toy with the idea of abortion or get an abortion or something like that. But, oh man, it just makes my skin crawl. The people in America that have voted on that are all just disgusting in my eyes. Fucking idiots, you know what I mean? Just religious fucking nut bars that are just hanging on to the word of God and their interpretation of the word of God. Dumbest cunts going, seriously. Can't even talk about that enough. We'll talk about it on another podcast. I'd like to get someone on here that has a bit more fucking education around that than me just ranting and raving and calling them dumb cunts. But anyway, that's exactly what they are. I want to do a bit of a breakdown at the end of the Good Things Festival, because I was totally stoked with this lineup. So we'll talk music at the end of that. We'll close the show with some music. There was a couple things that caught my eye this week, and then there was another thing. I had a punchable offense, so we'll talk about that very soon. The new Buzz Lightyear movie's out. I'm a Toy Story dad. I like Toy Story. I'm pretty keen to see Lightyear. I will say I was a little bit gutted that they sort of changed his appearance and they made it like kind of like a bit more high tech. And I was a bit gutted that like Tim Allen isn't the voice. I think he got involved in one of them maybe Me Too movements. I don't know for a fact, but I don't think so, because he's back on the Disney network, so I don't know what that was about. But I think Chris Evans is voicing Lightyear. It's another thing I don't like it when they do, is like change the characters or change the actor or change the voice of something. I don't like that. But anyway, they've done that. But there was a hoo-ha this week. Buzz Lightyear, he's gone live. The movie's gone out. It's been banned in the UAE, Kuwait, and Saudi Arabia, as far as I know. Interesting. They'll have like a common theme there. It's banned. Why is it banned? There's an issue with the same-sex kiss in this movie. Caught me by storm. I thought, wow, wowzers trousers. That's interesting. So I haven't seen the movie yet, but apparently there's a same-sex kiss. I don't know if it's 2 men or 2 women. I'm assuming it. I'm just having a look here. Alicia. Okay, it must be 2 women who shares a kiss with her partner and talks about starting a family. Right? It goes on to say here that in those countries that homosexuality is still a crime and even punishable by death in some Gulf countries. Apologies to the UAE fans that listen to the show, but you're probably not surprised me saying this. That's fucking backwards as well. You know what I mean? You shouldn't homosexuality isn't a crime, and you shouldn't punish people by death by stoning them. You know what I mean? Because they're fucking gay. It's ridiculous. So that's crazy. I thought about this in two ways. People uproar about the same-sex kiss. They're uproared about the same-sex kiss because they think it's telling kids to be gay. You know what I mean? That's their interpretation of it. Hey, it's okay to be gay, and we're putting this in the movie, and you should be gay. So I don't think that's all the way true, right? It's kind of like a don't read everything you believe situation. I've watched many a movie. Hell, I've even come across gay porn more than once. You know what I mean? Have I ever felt like going and munching some dick after seeing some gay porn? Definitely not. Maybe it has a different impression on a 3 to 10-year-old. I don't know, but it hasn't worked for me just yet. You know what I mean? There's been other things I've done. You know what I mean? But none of that variety. That's a pretty bold move. You know what I mean? That's a pretty bold move. Hey, hang on. This looks interesting. 2 chicks kissing or 2 dudes kissing. I might go kiss my best mate. When Jared comes around, instead of shaking his hand tonight, I might just plant a big old pash on him. You know what I mean? Because I saw it in Lightyear. So I get that. And I get that's kind of why people maybe think like that, but I also think it's a bit crazy. Do you know what I mean? But then I see the exact opposite too. I think, yeah, it shouldn't be in the movie, right? And I also think I'd go as far to saying that an opposite sex, like man and a woman and a man, whatever you want, they shouldn't be kissing in the movie too. It's a kid's movie, right? You shouldn't probably be forcing these sort of things on them. I think in Toy Story 4, if I'm correct, Woody and Bo Peep, they get back together. There's a lot of hugging. It's very romantic. There's no kissing. That was cool. They get it. Kids can see that, like, 2 toys can love each other. That's kind of bizarre too, right? But yeah, I don't know. I see it both ways. I can see why people are getting bent out of shape about it because they think that their kids are going to just go and watch the movie and come out like fucking Freddie Mercury. I don't think that's going to happen. So whatever. I'm not worried about that, you know, and I don't care because gay people are around. I'm sure if we had some friends in years to come and Arabella saw them kissing, you know, it's what's going on, Daddy? Well, those 2 women or those 2 men are kissing because that's what they do. They love each other, just like Mummy and Daddy do. It is what it is. You know what I mean? And if you want to try that, if you are that way inclined, then go do that. That's your thing. I can't stop you, and I don't care. And the other side of that coin for me, so I'm on the fence here. I just don't think it should be in the movies to begin with. I don't think the other side of it should be in the movies. I think if it's a kid's movie, leave all that kind of confusing stuff out for now, you know what I mean? You've got enough there with like the fact that you're in fucking space and it's Buzz Lightyear and he was once a toy and now he's an actual fucking astronaut and I'm sure he's on the moon and his shit's blowing up. It's going fucking mental. That's enough. That's enough for the kids to wrap their head around. They can go down that difficult path of romance way down the future. I've been an adult now for going on 3.5 minutes, but in all seriousness, I've been an adult now since like 17, 18. You want to say 18, right? It's been hard to navigate those waters sometimes. You know what I mean? You think you got it figured out. Bang, break up. Bang, when do I make a move? Oh, bang, it's going too fast. Oh, bang, you said the wrong thing. It's just so hard. So maybe just give the littlies a break and maybe just leave any sort of romance out of kids' movies, whether that be same sex or the opposite sex. I don't care. But I'm not a bigot by any means. Rock on with the same sex. You want to do that? Go ahead. I don't give a fuck. So that was a good one. And then I saw another one, which made me laugh too. This was a good one too. This is just, again, people just love getting bent out of shape about shit, right? So there's a movie, Matilda the Musical's coming to Netflix, right? You know that show, Miss Trunchbull and stuff like that. So Miss Trunchbull, played by Emma Thompson. She's fat, right? She's chunky. She's big. She's got a strong jaw. Netflix Matilda remake sparks backlash with use of fat suit. Wow. Okay, that's crazy. I see these things and I think, geez, this is bizarre, right? This is absolutely bizarre. So Emma Thompson, she's a good actor. She's not fat, right? So I've seen this in a few parts. Firstly, there's people that are pissed off because the character's fat, right? So when he wrote the story, the character's fat, right? So they're annoyed that it needs to be fat to begin with, right? This is people that are fat, I believe. This is just mental to me. Then they're annoyed that a skinny actor has to put on a fat suit to be that fat character. I'm trying to paraphrase here, you know what I mean? Here we go. It has been really disappointing to see Emma Thompson put on a fat suit for this role. One disappointed Thompson fan tweeted, "I've always loved her work, but this is just so gross." So now she's got fans that are offended that she's acting. And in preparation for that role, she has to wear a fat suit. You know what I mean? She's playing a fucking fat actor. You know what I mean? Fat character. Oh my God, I'm getting so confused here. It's like watching Benjamin Button and being pissed off that they use CGI that made Brad Pitt like 90 years old or like a little baby. You know what I mean? That's the movie. That's the character. That's the thing. Just because Emma Thompson was cast in this role and she's had to wear a fat suit doesn't make Emma Thompson a bad person. She's getting a fat, no pun intended, she's getting a fat ass paycheck for it as well. This is just crazy. I can't believe someone would agree to put a thin person into a costume for Matilda the musical. The original was already fat-phobic enough, but now they put Emma Thompson in a fat suit. I can't work out this logic because I'm guaranteed this would have been a body-positive fat person writing this, right? And now it's fat-phobic to have a fat person in there. You know, it's portrayed it. And I think it's because she's like an evil sort of character, and she's fat and she's evil and stuff like that, so they hate it, so you can only have like good fat people. I don't know. It's really crazy. Stop this, says someone else. Another actor in a fat suit coming to a movie near you. There are fat people who can act. Cast them if the role is for a fat character. That's what they put. UGH 3 times. I get that. I get that too. You know what I mean? Maybe there should be fat actors playing fat characters, but maybe Emma Thompson just fit the part. Not the fat part, but just everything else. They put like prosthetic stuff on her face, all this sort of shit. People just love literally like getting fucking bent out of shape. You know what I mean? Like literally bent out of shape about this thing. I would never think about that. You know what I mean? It's the same to me as like if like Christian Bale, you know what I mean? He's a man, normal body, whatever. He's lost heaps and heaps of weight to play like someone that's like 44 kilos. He was in that movie Vice where he put on heaps of weight. He had a huge gut in that movie. You don't get pissed off at him because he's losing weight and fucking putting on weight and stuff like that. Oh, we need an extremely underweight person to play this role, not Christian Bale. Oh, we need a pretty overweight dad to play this role, not Christian Bale. No, that's it, you know what I mean? But when you put him in an actual suit, that's pissed off. Maybe what Emma Thompson should have done is hit it like Christian Bale. She should have worked harder at her craft and just fucking got fat. Fat as fuck. And just ate and ate and ate. And then, you know, that was it. That's it. She's fat now. You know what I mean? But there'll be someone else. There was always someone else going, this is fat phobic. You know what I mean? Because she's fat and she's evil and stuff like that. And I don't know what I'm going on about here, but I just get so annoyed with these people that they're never happy. You know what I mean? They're just never stoked about it. It's like, you can't put a fat person in a fat suit. You can't do this. You can't like imitate anyone now. You know what I mean? You just can't do that. You can't do that. So Emma Thompson, shame on you for wearing the fat suit. I don't care. But the fatties of the world care. It's only the fat people out there too that care. You know what I mean? That are really like outspoken about being fat. They're all the body positive people too. It's like they want to bring awareness to it, but they're annoyed that it's not a fat person. And they're annoyed it's a skinny person wearing a fat suit. It's almost like they're making fun of them. You know what I mean? It's crazy. It's crazy, crazy, crazy. So anyway, that caught my eye this week. Go and check it out. That's happening every other week, I swear to God. You know what I mean? Another thing. PPQ plates. This is a punchable offense, ladies and gentlemen. PPQ plates. Cars that have the number plate that someone's going to out and purchased of the car make or model that they're driving. So it's like you see a Ferrari and the number plate's Ferrari. You see a BMW and the number plate's BMW. That is a punchable offense. That's the ultimate height of dickheadedness, in my opinion. I don't know what compels people to go and buy a car, then go and spend a few grand on a number plate to tell me that car is that car. Mate, we know it's that car. They're badged for a reason. You don't need to be a dickhead and go and get a plate that says, hey, I'm driving a Falcon. No, I can't. We know it's a Falcon. Do you know what I mean? We could hear you coming. We could hear the Falcon coming. You don't need to reinforce that your Falcon's a Falcon. We know it's a Falcon. So yeah, apologies not for anybody that does that because it's an ultimate dickhead move. Go and get another personalised plate. Go and get your name or something. Go and get your favourite colour. Go and get something crazy. You know what I mean? Fast car. Something dumb like that. I don't know. Good beer. Punchable offence. Definitely punchable offence. Another one too I saw this week. I thought this was good. Tom Hanks and Rita Wilson, his wife. She's not as famous as Tom, I don't believe. So I just put that together for you. They're leaving a hotel in New York. And then they just get swarmed by paparazzi, which I think are just like some of the scummiest people going. People looking for signatures, photos. Then they go and flip them on eBay. It's scummy work. One of the guys got in Rita's face and she tripped. I've never seen Tom Hanks explode like this. He just turned around and was like, back the fuck off, in his Tom Hanks way. And then he just had that look, that annoyed, fucked off dad look, just like that. You can't see what I'm doing if you're listening, but on the YouTube version, and he's just like deadpanned them, like. And I thought he was going to hit one of these dudes. Hey? And at that point, I'm like, you should just drop one of these dudes. You just set the fucking standard, Mr. Hanks, and just drop one of them. You know what I mean? I like Tom Hanks. He's a brilliant actor. The Burbs is probably my favorite Tom Hanks movie. But yeah, just got me thinking about these scumbag paparazzi. And then they're all like clawing around like little fucking rats in the cellar, They're just like, oh, why'd you push me? Why'd you push me? Why'd you push me? And they're looking all weird and stuff like that. And they do look weird. They look weird. Like they're kind of oily people, sort of sweaty people. They're going to take that. Oh, it makes me feel weird thinking about them, actually. And they're going to take that photo and put it on eBay and try and sell it. Ugh, weird people. Don't dig it. Anyway, that's enough riffing and ranting on bullshit. It's been fun. And I'm going to keep going. And we're going to talk about the good things lineup. So if you don't like music, shut off here. But I just want to talk about music before I fucking finish this show up. And then we go and get stuck into some beers and some chicken wings and some footy and some wins. And oh my God, let me have another sip. The Good Things Festival. It's Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane. Very stoked. Haven't bought tickets yet, but I'm pretty confident I'm going to buy a ticket. We'll go through this from the bottom. Thornhill, the story so far. Soulfly, Sleep Messiah, Sabaton, Regurgitated, Red Hook, Polaris, Nova Twins, Millen, Colin, Lacuna Cole, Kiss Chasey, JXDN, don't know who they are, Ginger, Fever, 333, Electric Callboy, Cosmic Psychos, Chasing Ghosts, Blood Command, 303, One OK Rock, Gojira, The Amity Affliction, Tism, No Effects, Deftones, and Bring Me the Horizon. Firstly, I probably mentioned on the show, I'm like a huge No Effects fan. I was full, I never used to fucking listen to them at all, never even fucking gave them a time of day. Then I just got into them overnight, and I'm a super fan. Love them. I love them that much that I'm going to order a t-shirt on my next pay. That's how much I love them. And I said to myself, not to anyone else, just myself, because I love having conversations with myself. I was like, I really would like to see No Effects. I hope they do an Australian tour soon. Fuck me dead. They've been announced on this festival, right? And they might even do sideshows. I'd love to see a sideshow. But I saw this and I was like, you know what? Because I was saying a while ago, I was like, I miss Australian festivals. I miss going to Soundwave. I even miss the Big Day Out, right? They were so fun. Big Day Out got a little bit sort of shitty, went too mainstream, too dancey. But Soundwave was going real good. They were really going hard on the metal, the rock, and the pump. And I was like, Australia's missing some really good... Oh, I'm burping so hard here. I haven't belched in so long, but you got like 4 in a row there. Australia's really missing some good, like, rock and roll alternative music festivals, metal, punk, that sort of stuff. But it's back. I think Good Things is back. And I think if they keep this up and they don't make any bad financial decisions like AJ Matter did in the Soundwave festivals a few years back, they're going to go well. But I like this. I like this a lot. Tickets were $200 in the pre-sales, which made me shudder a little bit because I didn't have $200. But the bands that I'd like to see, Soulfly, definitely. I'd love to see Regurgitator. Polaris, I think it'd be cool. Fever, 333. Love to see them. Cosmic Psychos, would fucking love to see them. Probably see Gojira. I'd probably go see Amity Affliction. Maybe. I don't like all their stuff. Tism, don't really know Tism. I know they did some they're kind of a weird band for me. I probably wouldn't see them. No Effects. That's ultimately why I'm going to this festival, to see No Effects. And they're performing punk and drublic in full, plus all your favorites. It's going to be sick. So I'd like to see that. And then for sure, I'd love to see Deftones. I think that'd be cool. Not a mad Deftones supporter, fan, I don't know, some of their stuff. But I'd go and see them. And then you got Bring Me the Horizon as well. I don't really like a lot of new stuff from Bring Me the Horizon. It's a little bit sort of friendly for me, but I like some of their older shit. So there's a good happy medium there. But they'd put on a good show. I think it'd be really fun. But mate, that lineup is enough. In a day, right, I think in a day there's 6 or 7 bands, generally speaking, maybe a bit more that you could go and see. Like full sets I'm not sure of, but it's the lower bands, ones that clash. You could probably get a lot of those top ones in, but man, I don't know. That was just really good. And I just got a full on. I was just totally stoked. I was just so stoked when I saw that lineup. I was happy for the music scene. I was happy for, because what it will do is by bringing these international artists, it will give a platform for the local artists, I think. So this is good. As it grows, the Australian music scene will grow. Music here is healthy. We got a great scene in Australia, right? There's a lot of venues now. There's a lot of touring happening, and I'm really, really stoked for the scene. So I think I might have to go to Good Things. Going to get a ticket, and we'll do that. Might even get some fucking interviews in. Who knows? But on that note, I think I'm done with the show, right? I'm feeling a little bit nasally. And as I said, footy's on. The beers are on. Chicken wings will soon be on. My dog's looking at me like he needs to be fed. But yeah, apologies for the delay. I'm going to air this normal time, Monday. We'll get it up tomorrow night. Maybe get another show in this week. I'm not sure. Got a Smitty podcast coming up. I don't know what's going on with Smitty. I haven't talked to him in a little while, and he's doing subliminal messages through his Instagram and stuff like that. I don't know. Just I hope he's all right. If he's listening, that's my dog. If he's listening, I hope you're going all right, Smitty. I know you cut your beard off, and you said you weren't going to do shows for a while, comedy shows. So I hope you're going all right, man. If you are listening, anyway. But yeah, that's the King of the Couch. I believe it's episode 141. You've been a great audience, and I fucking love you all. No matter who you are, or what you're going through, there's always someone more fucked up than